give y'all sentiments on it. We're recording now, so um, if
William.
if Will wants to bring us in,
All right.
you already know what I'm gonna say though.
What's going on, everybody? This is Will from the That's How You Feel podcast. I'm here with my man Brandon.
Yeah.
I'm here with Sarah. First and foremost, how are we feeling today, Sarah?
I'm tired as hell. The rain makes me tired, and it's raining, like cloudy, not raining, but cloudy. Brandon?
I got a new cut, bro. A fresh cut. I ain't get my eyebrows done, so it's still looking kind of bushy.
You got your eyebrows done?
I do.
Good for you.
I do get my.
I don't know why men are
unapologetically,
afraid to say that.
I do get my eyebrows done.
Y'all Barbies be nice with it.
Yeah, yo, what? Yo, it make me look.
Will about to make fun of you.
Will don't got eyebrows.
Will's about to make fun of you.
I ain't saying nothing about nothing. Go ahead.
He don't got eyebrows, so he,
Why
he
don't
can't
you?
say nothing.
I don't got eyebrows.
Yeah.
You disagree with men getting their eyebrows done?
I understand it because a lot of men are hairy and like they just naturally have thick eyebrows, so they already lining them up. So why not?
But you wouldn't do it. You never tried.
I don't. There's no reason for me personally to do it because I don't have eyebrow hair like that.
Makes sense. I thought you was going somewhere else with that.
No.
Makes sense.
No.
Yeah, you don't got no eyebrow. You shave your shit. So just you looking like freaking.
I was waiting for it.
The older all right, bro. Let's get into it.
How you feeling, Will? We didn't ask you.
You feeling like you need some eyebrow here?
Facts.
Shade.
The bundles. I need the bundles. I need the
eyebrow
specials,
extensions.
the deal. Yeah, I need the deal. But now I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling good. I can't complain.
Did you I meant to ask y'all this. Did you go to Brandon's courtroom?
Not yet.
Not yet. Damn. I was waiting for the results on that.
We still gotta set that up. Not yet. We will have a court date soon.
I'm waiting.
I'm waiting too. I thought I was about to hear something.
Nah, we recorded 2 episodes so far, 3, but we could bring them in soon. They said they're down. They want to do it. So it's just about setting it up. So
soon come.
All right, bet.
Soon come. So who's starting with the topics?
Go ahead,
I would like
Will.
to start.
What you want to start with? I would rather start with if y'all want to get the debate stuff or the political stuff out the way and end on a strong topic and not on something boring. I mean, what you want to do?
I would like to start with Tory Lanez.
Oh, okay.
Let's do that. His bum ass album. I ain't hear the album, but I didn't have to hear the album.
Okay.
I want to know why y'all, I guess, as men, would think it was okay for him to release a whole entire album saying that she was lying about getting shot after we saw her wound, after the hospital she went to put out the medical records, after we saw the TMZ or whatever video it was where she was literally leaking blood out of her foot while the cops pulled them over. And he still decided to say, after he got arrested for owning the gun, that it was proven like the bullets came out of or something, for him to say he did not shoot her.
Your question is, why do we think it's okay?
No, I want to know why do you guys, obviously, because you didn't hear it either, but why do you think people are like, nah, we got to hear Tory Lanez side of the story after we just had fact after fact after fact? Like, that album went number 1, I believe, for at least a day.
Go ahead, Will.
I have nothing.
Nothing.
Y'all are not fans?
Word?
No, I have no intellectual thought or probably this is
first.
This is wild. Like, this is not even like.
I didn't think you would be speechless.
For one, like I just saw the video yesterday. I don't watch the news like that, but I saw the video. I was like, yo,
what's up?
The fact that she can like still walk, like, because I got hit below like my knees. I got hit in my shins before and I was out. So for her to get shot, grazed, twice in both her feet.
Nah, she was shot. There was bullet fragments in her feet. She was shot.
All right. She was.
It was not great. It's just...
Yeah.
Right. She was shot. But everybody was waiting for how Tory was going to respond. So for him, and not even him individually, but his team, for his PR, for his management, for his label to think that this was a decent enough response.
That's what I'm like. No one you were around was like, nah, you probably shouldn't drop this. And he dropped it the same week after the Breonna Taylor verdict came about. So everyone's already on high alert about protecting Black women. And now you're just like, nah, she lying. Don't listen to her.
So I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna break it down how
Your perspective.
how I perceived it, or my thoughts on it. And I'll say that I do disagree with that. He shouldn't have released it that it wasn't that the same day or the day
I
after.
don't know. It was the week. I know that.
Breonna Taylor's case was dropped, or it was dismissed, or they weren't going to be charged. But so here's how I'll break it down, and I'll break it down by doing a comparison or bringing you into the mind of a lot of, I guess what's the word? Ignorant men. It stems from the song WAP. No, look,
I
hold
didn't
on.
see it come in there, but okay,
No,
I'm listening.
and once again, just a big disclaimer here. This is not me, but this is just using my male intellect and the obvious thoughts that every male has at one point or another have thought, and also using what I see on the internet and other men say. You know who Janae Aiko is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she has a song called "Pussy Fairy."
Yep.
She has two versions of that song. I'm sure you've heard the first one. However, I'm not so sure you heard the second one. And the second one is leagues. And when I say leagues, I mean like universes, like stratospheres above WAP. Like she literally goes into detail explaining like every possible thing.
The
Isn't
second
Mila
one,
J on a
I don't.
on the remix? Her sister Mila J.
I don't know who or what. I just know the lyrics. I don't know the lyrics. I heard the lyrics.
I just know the one on her album, but
It's
I don't know.
It's way worse than
that's
WAP.
Okay.
No. It's way worse than WAP. Way worse. So the opinion on Megan, like, you know, men not believing her, is the reason why they don't respect her. And how if it was Janae Aiko, men would be in an uproar about it, because they look at Cardi B and Meg and they see ratchet women. They see women are always showing they you know, they physical features. They see women that are loud. They see
vulgar.
Yeah, but Janae Aiko, they talk about WAP, and you know, talking about regular stuff. It's real basic. Whereas Janae Aiko, all soft spoken, describes everything she wants and should, and in detail, might I add, and very descriptive. Left nothing out, and nobody bats an eye, because she's perceived as quiet, well dressed, presentable, wifey material. Nobody cares. And if she was shot in the foot, Tory's career is done. There is no question about it. There is no question. There is no, oh, I need to release an album. There is no, oh, he said he didn't do it. No, he did that shit. And Tory's done. So unfortunately, that's how men think. And I spoke to my mother about it, and she just be like, you know, like, how men complaining about stuff like this, like, WAP, like, do you want it to be dry when you do it? Like, is that
Crying.
what you like? Is that what are you complaining about? Like, everybody wants to see a girl walk down the street in certain clothes, and they love to watch it till they can't see it. But all of a sudden, it's an issue, right? Like, you know, everybody wants that, but then when they get that, it's like, oh, you got to cover up, you got to do this, you got to do that. Like, what's the problem? So yeah, it's a double standard. And men, that's what men do. Men judge and men impose. So the whole thing with Tory dropping the song, and men like, oh, like, yeah, we got to hear inside. My fault, the album. And you know, men, you know, flocking to see what he said. Also, something about Tory. I think did Tory's mom die or something like that?
That's what he was trying to use as an excuse. He was like, the album was the day of my mom's death or something. Okay. Or no, it was his mom's birthday who died. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he supposedly was waiting for that day. Although even if that was the case, a statement, a simple "I didn't do it," would have sufficed.
That's what I'm saying.
When at the moment, instead of waiting in silence for this. I don't think that this was appropriate for the situation.
To get to that point, because at the time, Tory and Megan are considered high profile celebrities because of everything that's going on. I don't think that it was Tory's full 100% decision to go about it this way. Because of his celebrity, his status, there's certain rules that celebrities, period, have to abide by when it comes to controversial dealings across the board.
Before you continue, he didn't release a formal statement that he didn't do it. However, the whole time in between, before Megan came out and said, yeah, he did it, she was trying to stay quiet. And his team and himself were talking about her and also, speaking bad on her. And that's why she came out and said what she said. So as you say, before you finish and say, oh, it wasn't his full decision, he was very knowledgeable about what was being said about her.
No, he's knowledgeable. Don't get me wrong. He's knowledgeable.
A lot of that could have been from him.
That's a good point. I forgot about that. She spared him twice. Once with the cops, twice with the public, because she wasn't going to address it at all until she heard that his team was saying that it never happened like that. Or I don't know. They were just trying to discredit the fact that she just got a whole bullet in her foot right now.
Okay, so before I continue, just the whole unraveling, the whole packaging of this thing is wrong, no matter how you try to spin it. But what I'm trying to say is that his team, I feel like the team of Tory Lanez, whether it be his representatives, publicists, he has all of these people that he let's just say has to account for as far as financially. All these people who have jobs because of him. So that's what I mean by it wasn't 100% fully his decision. No matter what played out beforehand, and because people wanted a direct statement from Tory himself, and that's something that his team chose not to do, they chose to chose this direction for an album, to drop an album instead.
You got to remember though, it's he dropped a 17-song album. Mm-hmm. That's not something you do in a day. That's something that's something that's thought out. That's something that
cooking, and the whole thing was about that situation. Apparently,
not all of it, but a lot of it was, and it was a song dedicated to them, and he exposed their relationship and the things that they were. You can say it wasn't his full decision. Of course, you can't do a lot of things without consulting certain teams or certain members within your team or consultants. But make no mistake about it, this was his idea. He had a 17-song album. It wasn't like a little EP. It wasn't like a little project, like 2, 3, 17-song. It was an album promotion. This was his idea.
I hear you.
And the fact that it was released on his mom's birthday, like no one else would have planned that but him, one. And two, I see what you're saying about the team or whatever, but all those people work for him, which means he has the last say at the end of the day, besides his label, I guess. But I would assume his label would have been like, don't put that out, bro. Like, you do not need.
Nah, he's independent.
Oh, he's independent?
I don't know how much. I don't know. That
makes it worse.
That means, but it does, but if you're independent,
then you acknowledge that it was his idea.
Period. Those people work for him.
Nah, because being an independent artist does not kind of dismiss the work that has to be done. Like whether you be like signed to an independent label or be an independent artist versus you being on a major, the work that goes into it is.
We're not talking about work. We're talking about.
I'm talking about as far as permission and stuff like that. He might be like an EP, but ultimately, as far as a release, as far as album cuts, like selecting that, having AR, all of that, like having that is not just his self,
obviously
exclusively. So that's what I was saying.
But that has nothing to do with him saying, I'm going to make a project and I need to go through these people to get it out there. That's what.
But who's the know for sure? Like it was 100% his idea to
I'm not
even want
saying
to
that.
drop an album.
I'm
So
not
that's what I'm
saying.
saying.
Well, no. What I'm saying to you is, I'm sure some people were like, "Yo, like, stay quiet for now."
Yeah.
I'm sure that could have happened. Like, don't. But who the hell said make a 17-song album about it?
Facts. Also, you could have
So
made an album without even addressing anything. You could have just put out songs, but you wanted to capitalize off of her pain.
That's more, I feel like, of it is the capitalizing off of a moment.
Which is the craziest part, because the whole
Which is the craziest part.
I literally was just starting to like Tory Lanez because he had his quarantine radio or whatever. Mad funny.
Did you?
Yeah, he was mad funny.
Let me ask you a question that segues onto this women empowerment. That was okay to you?
The quarantine radio?
Yeah. What he was doing on there?
Well, I mean, I didn't watch every episode.
He only had women come on there to shake their ass. Or like,
nah, he said he had women come over there to show their talents.
Yeah.
That's literally what he said.
And that's
Lizzo
what
was on there. That's the one that I watched. And she was twerking or whatever.
That's all that it ever was. He had people on there, like, they put, like...
No, he had interviews.
Reported.
He had, like, male rappers and stuff. I watched interviews. He did have the women. I'm not saying that.
The ones that blew up. And once they blew up, it was like, oh, okay. Every week was like, almost every day, it was just like, quarantine. And they were just doing wild stuff. And it works.
I mean, yeah, it works. Sex sells. I'm saying it was their choice to do it. He didn't have a gun to their head or anything. No, it wasn't their choice.
It was their choice, but it was their choice. But I use that argument in everything. It's somebody's choice to be in a music video. It's someone's choice to be in a porn scene. And yet, women complain about.
I support the power of choice.
Yeah, but it's complained about when that's the stuff y'all complain about. Like, oh, men, y'all. But last time I checked, the woman signed the paper to take the check. It was her choice, and yet no one. So that just seems like pick and choose. I don't know. One's lighthearted, one's maybe not. I don't know, but
I see what you're saying. That could be an argument. I mean, they would do what you want to do. That's always my thing. Like, do what you gotta do. But he was in the whole quarantine radio, like, because it was during the BLM thing, and he was talking about supporting Black women and protecting Black women, and I was like, all right, Tory Lanez is funny. He's socially aware. He makes some good songs, and then here he goes doing this, literally contradicting everything he was talking about before.
I'll say this until they go to court and all the evidence comes out, and because I agree, he probably did shoot her, and there is no reason for it.
He did.
But I'm not a fan of people being like, he did it for no reason. I don't know why he did it. I don't like. All right, he should. It's not justified for the shooting. He shouldn't have.
Yeah. No.
But for no reason, you just got out the car and he shot you.
Yeah.
No.
Allegedly.
So I feel like. All right, us as the public, as the viewing public, we're not gonna know ever, or we're not gonna get what we need to solidify this as, oh, what happened, who did what, like, how did it all unfold? Because the two parties involved, there's so much more at stake. You know what I mean? Like, as far as what they are willing to share. And then more so on Tory's side than Meg's side, of course. But I just feel like it's going to be one of these situations where it's either going to be settled in court, and like there are either way you spin it, and either way you spin it, there are going to be massive details left out from the viewing public because of the intricacies of their dealings together.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Do you think that this could be a publicity stunt for the both of them?
That is a wild publicity stunt.
Because if she comes out with, he came out with his album. She comes out with an album. And it'll be her debut album too. If she comes out with an album, and she talks about this on her album, because she's not suing him, he's not going to jail. He came out with an album already, and if she comes out with an album right after talking about this topic too, they just got wild publicity off of that.
And
Go ahead.
To
You
the,
think
I'm
they were
sorry.
literally in the
Hold,
car and
hold
was
on,
like,
no. Hold on,
pull
no.
this
Look.
trigger for me real quick?
No, but and I'm not saying that.
Nah.
You know what could have happened? You know what
Only
could have happened?
because
Hold
the
on.
hospital
Yo,
is
you cooking,
involved.
Brandon. Come on, bro. Bring it in, bro.
There's
Come
so
on.
many celebrities
That,
go through fake relationships or go through
mm-hmm.
fake situations, scenarios, whatever, and then it just blows up and trauma. You know, we thinking it's trauma, and then they albums come out. The Jay-Z,
The
Beyonce thing,
444 lemonade.
where
Yep.
he comes out with 444, she come out with Lemonade, and that whole thing was fake. Like
What do you mean it was fake
that
or
whole it was a
reflects
publicity stunt.
reality?
It they,
Look, and that's what I was alluding to about this whole release, about it not being solely. I don't think it's solely Tory's like okay, like I want to put this album out. There's more to it. I feel like there's more to it because if it was really real, bro, somebody would have got charged already.
Adele made
How is
fame.
it? Is it
Somebody would have
really
got charged
real?
already.
The hospital literally put out her records. Like, I don't understand what's not
No,
real
I'm
enough
not
for
talking
you.
about the situation. I'm talking about how the situation
I'm
is
just
playing
theorizing.
out.
I'm not saying this for a fact. I'm just
Yeah, me
think
neither.
about
Me
like
neither.
you know who Adele is. She made her career off of an album about her ex and how sad she was. Got all that publicity, you got all that fame just to go back to her ex. Like to me, whenever like you go through this
No,
trauma or something like that, where nothing happens at the end and it just remains the same, or y'all break up and then you get all this attention and then you get right back to. For me, that seems fishy to me. Like if he's not going to jail and he shot you twice and you were in the
Did
hospital,
you hear her response as to why she didn't tell the
I
police?
know why she
yeah,
didn't,
yeah,
but they know now.
yeah.
So, so, and she's still not
No,
pressing
That's
charges.
a fact.
I
And
don't know.
not only do they know now, supposedly speaking negatively on her, which would ensue me. I would be like, oh, you talking? All right,
That's
cool.
probable
Now I'm pressing
cause.
charges.
That's probable cause.
I don't know if like pressing charges is going to allude to jail time because that's like a police matter. I don't think that has to do with her into
No,
like at
she's
all.
not. No. You're not hearing what I'm saying. She has she has no say in what happens to him. But if she
Now,
presses the charges, then she puts him in position to have to face them. She's not doing that. So if she come up with an album and this whole thing just blows over,
maybe she
and then
just took
Megan
her
and
L and
Tory,
was like, I don't
Megan
want
and
to go
Tory,
to court.
I'll tell you right now, if Megan and Tory next year they on the beach somewhere, you know it was fake. Tell you that right now.
And
If
and
that,
and it, and to the benefit of the doubt, for Megan's sake, this release has probably put her back up against the wall to press charges, to make a a
Good.
uh more like hefty um what's the word I'm
case,
looking for? Not case, but statement. Sorry, statement against him. I don't know. Like that. This is a very like methodical chess game because again they're both in the limelight and court of public opinion can sway this thing.
I don't feel like it's fake, but this is just me knowing that what we think is real in the celebrity world is not real sometimes. So I don't think it's fake, but on the off chance, and it could, it's a chance that it could be. And on the off chance that it is, that's why we're talking about it, you know? So I'm not saying, I want you to understand, I'm not saying that I think it's fake, but I am bringing up different scenarios that could possibly come to fruition. So that's all I'm saying.
yeah, he just contradicted everything he said before. Like it blows my mind, but I like the point that you made about Janae Aiko. Because I was talking to some guy about it and he was like, bro, Megan is 6'2", Tory is like 5'4". She was probably beating his ass and he felt like he had to defend himself. I was like, that doesn't make sense, one,
Is she
because
6'2"?
I
Yeah,
don't
she's
know how tall
tall.
she is, but
She's
she's
she's a
tall. Yeah, I
big
think he
woman.
was
I thought she was like
dragging it.
5'11".
But that's what I'm saying. Like even that, like because Janae Aiko is small and soft-spoken and petite, like people would be more up in arms than someone like Megan who talks her shit and who's tall and talks about using
Hey, go
guys
talk
all
your
the
shit.
time.
Don't get it
It's
twisted.
it's,
Nah,
it's messed
Get off
up
Janae
game,
too.
Aiko
Megan.
talks her shit.
She
But
do,
for
and
some
she's
reason,
connected.
people don't
Janae
act like she talks
Aiko.
her shit
She
because of that
affiliated.
reason.
She affiliated.
She
She
affiliated.
affiliated. So
OD.
but
But
yeah, I
that's
don't.
the thing. Nobody sees her like that because she's
She don't carry
It's
herself like that,
perception. It's perception.
and that's the thing. But yeah,
that's
well,
wild.
we get a segue though. We get a segue.
Protect Black women at all costs. That's all I gotta say.
Of
You could
course,
change his
most
subject.
definitely.
I feel like I had dropped the gem.
Oh man.
Man, I protect all women. But yeah, we are being attacked, so protect black women.
Yes, sir.
I say that you know me. I don't discriminate. I sound like a white person.
You dead ass all lives mattered
I
me.
was like, yo, where you going with this?
I was waiting for him to end it because I felt like he
because it's different. That's different to me. Because I am black, so any black issue
obviously.
is going to be an issue for me. But all women like women in general, like as far as what they go through, y'all all go through the same thing. It's not like when people say all lives, all women do, even white women. Y'all can act like that's not the case.
All men go through the same thing.
All men, we do. But what I am saying is, and I said this to my mother, I said this to everybody. I don't believe that men and women are different as far as the things that we do to each other, right? Women are not as strong. So when they go about things, they do it differently. Whereas men is just like just brute, like force and whatever. So like when we do things, it seems worse, right? However, because of that is the case, men are always going to be like women are always going to be targeted more and always going to be more at risk and more victims. It's just going to be the case. So yes, protect black women, but let's not like when I say that, like I mean I protect. I look out for black women, Hispanic women. Like that's just what I do. Like it is what it is. Like I get that statement, but I don't think that black men don't do that. And the segue into this next topic I want to talk about.
Tory Lanez one was a perfect example of black men not doing it.
That was a black man. And no, we're gonna segue. We're gonna segue into the next topic, but that was a black man, and it's not fair for you to act like I'm gonna shoot a black woman because I got mad.
I don't think you are.
It doesn't matter. Exactly, I'm black. So that's a black man that decided to handle his business that way, supposedly. It does not mean
can you say
want to do that.
Can you say as a black man, would you, instead of saying protecting all women, can you possibly agree with protect black women first?
I don't even think first. I'm saying
like, no, I don't.
It's the most marginalized.
You don't put them in a category.
This is what I
don't put them in a category. What do you mean?
Like you don't put as far as level of importance or priority.
I don't
for the women and the classification of women.
So you're saying so what you're saying to me right now, right? I'll put it into a scenario for you. I see a white woman, Hispanic woman, an Asian woman, and a black woman. All in this, they're each separated, like they're in the same spot, but each going through their own situation. All of them getting their ass beat. And you saying what I'm supposed to do was walk up to the black person first and be like, no, protect her first and then get to the rest later. That's what you're saying. That's what Will just said.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm saying I'm sorry. I wasn't speaking on an individual level. I was talking more of on a socially.
What I'm saying to you is when I put it into that perspective.
Yeah.
How does that sound to you?
It sounds like
don't you think they're all going through the same thing at the same time?
Yes.
So for me, I think because black people feel attacked, black women will also feel like because we're all being attacked, and there are ignorant black men that be like, oh, I ain't gonna date no black woman. They feel like black men don't got their back. So that's where that protect black women comes from. And it's funny that women be acting like men is their biggest problem when really it's women. Right there, y'all separating yourselves. Right there, y'all separating yourselves. Y'all really are. Y'all go through the same things, and y'all separate yourselves. Y'all talk amongst each other. Y'all be like, I don't wear these clothes for men. I wear it for me. So if you don't wear it for men, that means you're wearing it for your peers because y'all judge each other too. Y'all do. So what I'm saying is that statement right there, when you say protect black women and expect, that's like negating. It could be negating other women's problems, and y'all go through the same things. So when I put that into perspective for you, I see different cultured women going through the same issue. And your statement will protect black women first. Your statement is telling me if I see all these people going through the same problem, I'm supposed to automatically just see a black woman and be like, oh yeah, I got to protect her first because she's black. When it's like, what if the closest one to me is this lady, and I'm running past all these women to get to the black woman. When it's like, what about these people that I just ran past? They're all women. Y'all should be advocating for every woman to be protected the same way, because y'all act like men ain't shit, and when women go through all the same issues, right? But all of a sudden, when it's convenient, it's just protect black women.
I don't understand how you don't think us the same as All Lives Matter. Because what I interpreted was, I'm gonna always say Black Lives Matter because I'm black, but I'm not a woman, so I'm not gonna say Black Lives Matter. That's
not the same.
That's what I got out of it. How is that not the same?
It's not the same at all. It's not the same at all. White people say all lives matter because they don't want to acknowledge black lives. White people have signs for decades. Decades. For hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah, we know
that said,
racism,
no blacks,
and slavery. Yes,
no blacks, no this.
But
no. You asked me to explain. I'm telling you the difference. How you telling me that me saying that you are dividing yourself when you say protect black women, right? Protect black women
at all costs.
At all costs. And you guys are always fighting for women's rights, yet protect black women, as if you weren't just saying women's rights. What do you mean by that? Like that's not a all lives matter. You women have forever been saying, black women too, I'm a feminist. Protect women's rights, women's votes, women's this, women's that. All of a sudden it turns into, oh, y'all don't protect black women. Black women are so attacked. Black. And then wait. That's what y'all do. You cannot say y'all don't. That's what y'all do. So then maybe other women that feel attacked will start to be like, well, it's not just black women that feel, because we feel that way too. And y'all supposed to be together because you guys, and I will agree, you women are treated unfairly. Women are treated like shit. Regardless of how I feel, regardless of how I feel, women reciprocate that. It's abundantly clear that men as an overall this is not a race thing. This is a dominance factor, and you guys are the victims. This is not black women get treated worse than Asian women, or black women get treated worse than Hispanic women. This is not that. This is like men treat women like shit. So when you say protect black women, you could be making another woman that goes through the same issues that you're going through feel like, oh, I don't matter now, because all of a sudden, like now black lives, and all of a sudden it's just black women, like we don't matter.
That sounds like a personal problem. Why would you get that out of protect black women? Why would you all of it? It seemed defensive as soon as I said protect black women. You were like, protect all women. I didn't say throw every other woman in the trash. I said, especially in the context of our conversation, we were talking about Megan Thee Stallion, who is a black woman, which is another reason why I said it right after the conversation we had. That does not mean fuck every other woman.
So can I ask you, what would you have said?
And black women are also not often included in the feminist movement. Go ahead.
What do you mean black women are not often included in the feminist movement?
It's usually
it's two different feminist movements.
White people?
Exactly.
It's just about white people?
Usually.
Okay,
well,
so
hold on.
Listen, hold on, Will. Hold on, I got you. Me and her going, and you got it after this. I agree with her 100%. It is about white people. Just like this Black Lives Matter thing is not just a black issue. It's also all these others. But as you've seen in history, black people take the brunt of a lot of what goes on. And every other cultural race kind of benefits and reaps off the struggles that the black people actually do have to go through, right? Slavery, right? All those race that we got, every other cultural race ate off of that. Remember that? Yes, you're right. So you're right. Black people aren't always included in the feminist movement. It is usually white people. But guess who else is not included in the feminist movements? Hispanics, Asians, Muslims. All these women that
you're right, minorities not,
usually. Hold on, exactly my point. So when I say protect women, I'm not talking about white women. And when I say, and even the Black Lives Matter, we do, and we're not acting like we're the only ones that matter. We just saying y'all don't pay attention to us, and a lot of other races don't understand that when we say Black Lives Matter, we're not trying to say that we're the most important minority. Well, but at the same time, as you've seen in history, nothing's gonna get done unless black people make an uproar. You got other people talking about, oh, y'all made an uproar about this, and we still doing this. Why ain't y'all fighting for us? We are fighting for you, dummies. That's why we're doing this. If this Black Lives Matter shit, if it happens for us, it happens for you too. That's what I mean. So when you say protect black women, I'm not talking about white women. I'm talking about all the other minority women too because they're also affected. And that's when I say, when you guys divide yourselves as minorities, that's an issue, because you guys are supposed to feel like that's together. And you already feel attacked by not only men, but by society. So when you say protect Black women, other women who also in this sensitive moment, in this sensitive time, because everybody don't know what Black Lives Matter means, except for Black people, apparently, right? Nobody knows what it means. You got Hispanics that are get it just as bad as us, and they be like, oh, well, we don't matter. Yes, you do. You do matter, but we're not talking about that. So that's what I mean. But it's not the same thing as all
That's
lives matter.
literally what I said about protect Black women.
You telling me that I sound like a white person when I say that? No,
when did I say that?
You just said it sounds like all lives matter. You just said it sounds like all lives matter.
It sounds like all lives matter. Like I said, you're all lives mattering my cause. Just because I said protect Black women does not mean not protect every other woman on earth. I'm just saying, for the context of that conversation, which was about Meg, protect Black women, you immediately, for some reason, interpret it as, but everybody else, they gotta do what they gotta do.
Because I don't feel any type of, I don't feel the need, or like, you know how some men, like a woman will go through an issue and a man just feels the need to intervene. Like, oh, you're talking to a woman, you're talking to a girl, you just did that to a girl. That's not me. Like that, you going through your issue as a grown woman, right? You going through whatever it is, you decide you doing this and that. Like I'm not that type of dude. I feel like those types of dudes are annoying as hell. Not because they feel the need to want to protect, but like that's very misogynistic. Like that makes you're a child at that point, where every little problem you have, a man got to be the one to protect you. I don't feel the need, so I was never a fan of protect Black women. I was like, because men want. I was never a fan of it, because the way you guys use it, the way it's used by certain people, and like I said, it's like the Black Lives Matter movement. There are a lot of people that talk about Black Lives Matter and they do derelict stuff, and they're the people that are in the forefront. So just like the protect Black, there's a lot of Black women that use that protect Black women that don't need to be saying it. And if you can't agree with that, then there's a problem. That's a fact. It's just like every other thing. So that's why I be jumping on these phrases and terms like just whatever. I don't do that because they're stupid and everyone says it, and that's why nothing gets done, because it turns into a trend just like that, and then the meaning gets lost. So why would I say it? I'm not going to say it. I don't believe in it.
Still say it. You don't
you
believe in protecting.
You can say it. No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's what I said. That's not what I'm saying.
I don't really even go around saying Black Lives Matter, because it's a trend now. The message is lost. So when you constantly saying that, it's not you think you saying something and people are perceiving it a whole nother way. I don't say it. There's other ways to say protect our women. I'm not going to say the trendy words. I'm not going to say the trendy terms. I'm going to say something else.
You don't have to say it, but the way you said it, what you said right after what I said, seemed defensive.
Because women. This is not a race thing. When I say that, women, most women, there's a whole bunch of women in other countries that are being oppressed and having to do certain things against their will that aren't Black, and y'all be acting like y'all. They don't.
Are women of color.
Women of color, whatever. All I'm saying is this
is like a Twilight Zone moment for me.
All right, bro. Listen,
we're not gonna agree on this, so let's move on.
You're right. We're not gonna agree. There's an issue with that.
I was going to say to your point.
Ahead, William.
Brandon, to your point.
Go to Sarah's point. I don't.
No. Because this is. I was gonna say this, but then y'all went off. I saw a post on IG, and it was something stupid like, oh, if men didn't exist on the planet for 24 hours, what would you do, ladies? And a lot of the responses were the same in saying that they would go out at night safely and all of that, X, Y, and Z. Now that was telling like, well, damn, sentiment across the board, X, Y, and Z. So to your point, and Sarah, I'm not saying that you're wrong either, because it's like the two vantage points, the two perspectives are apples and oranges, based on who's looking. But to Brenda's point, women in general, they go through things that put them in danger because of their
I'm saying men. I'm saying men are fucked up.
because of that
Men are
because of
fucked up
that
people. That's what
dominance
I'm saying.
because of that
Exactly. That's
dominance
what I'm saying.
factor, and the fact that men can
Yes.
typically overpower women in
Yes.
situations.
That's all I'm saying.
So that's that I get that, and I understand the sentiment of women
Yes.
saying that.
Let's go.
So that's all I want to say.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Uh, so Brandon,
LOL. This is pretty much the same topic.
Brandon, you put a post in the chat, and it's a very interesting post. Would you like to break it down?
No, you read it.
All right. So it
I don't have it up.
states, we reject men who were going to make us wives for guys who made us single mothers. Men are not trash, but our taste for men is trash. Dear men, we are sorry. This comes from a woman. Pretty. I can't pronounce her
Yeah,
name,
you ain't
so I don't
gotta
want
do
to
all
butcher
that.
that.
Yeah, no, you don't have. I don't know who it came from. I know it was posted by. It was posted, and I don't agree. With every man that has the sentiment, there's a lot of men that act as if like they're just hopelessly romantic people, and like they just can't find the right one, and all women are trash. And then there's women that be like, oh, all men are trash, and I just can't find the right one. I saw that, and it was like, from a man's perspective, that's what you want to hear. Like Sarah said, this is very pick me ish, right? That's what you want to hear. And not to tie it back into it, a lot of that protect black women stuff, it comes from a lot of that sentiment, where people can't be honest with themselves, right? How much of this is self-reflecting? So in that statement, everything, once again, this is not a black, white, whatever. This is a man and a woman issue. It just so happens that a man's gonna read this and be like, facts, yeah, right? And if it was a man saying, oh, women ain't trash, we just picked the wrong ones, women are gonna be like, facts, yeah, I ain't, right? Not owning up to the fact that if you constantly picking the wrong ones and can't find someone that's good, that has something to do with you. A lot of people don't want to go through the work to go do the effort to find someone actually good. They want the easy ones. Men want women that aren't going to talk back. Men want women that are going to be submissive. Men want women that are going to whatever, and then don't like what comes with that. Men don't want to put in the work. So it's like, of course, you're only going to find trash women when it comes to that, because that's what you're going to look for. Some women don't have man's perspective, and this is men too. So whatever I'm about to say, take it with a grain of salt. A lot of women, when it comes to trauma with dating, don't always take the time they need. And I have a lot of family members like this, where it's like they're always in relationships, always. Like, break up with someone, you right back with someone, and that's unhealthy. And it's like constantly talking about men ain't shit, men ain't shit, men ain't shit. I can't. But it's like, well, there's a pattern that you're following, men and women that we follow, and we keep choosing certain people and blaming a whole gender based on our poor choices or our poor actions or negligence of our own needs. Where it's like, take your time and allow yourself to ease into it, allow someone to put in that effort, because you wait, and you make someone talk to you, try to pursue you for 3, 4, 5 months. You're gonna see who's really interested and who's like, all right, nah, you too much, you bugging, like you ain't worth this, like, all right, I ain't worth it, you could bounce. You'll see that. But some people, men, women, ain't that patient. Men don't want to wait. I gotta wait. What? Nah. Woman, I need somebody. Man, I need somebody. I can't be by myself. Like, okay, and then you're going to find these people. You're vulnerable. So I think there's a disconnect. I thought that was perfect for the way that we as men and women think. Women see that it's like, what? Nah. But if it was a man that said that, yeah, I would agree wholeheartedly, and not take into account the personal, what your own mistakes and choices. That's why I put that in the chat. I just wanted to see what y'all thought about that.
I think that people, like you said, definitely pick the wrong ones. Like, sometimes you find a common denominator in people's exes or in your own exes or whatever, and it just reminds me of a quote that says, like, you have to teach people how to treat you. And I feel like if you are, dang, I'm reading it from a man's perspective now. Instead of saying we reject women, instead of saying we reject men, I'm reading it as we reject women who are going to, I don't know, people are liars. Everyone is trash at this point. That's how I feel. But I'm very down these days because of the pandemic. But just
Okay.
humanity as a whole is just garbage at the moment. But I mean, there are instances of accountability here. Like you are picking these people. You gotta try to weed out the bad ones as best as you can, even though there are liars out there. People gonna sell you false dreams and hopes, but you just gotta take them L's.
Yeah, I feel like this is a classic example of, or this is a good starting point for the talk of accountability across the board. Just to not like hard, but to agree with you guys like thought. When it comes to, so I don't really see this as pick me. But I can see how somebody can, and how can somebody can use this as like pick me material. Because I feel like
it's pick me because of the last sentence.
It's pick me.
Dear men, we are sorry.
It's pick me.
That one took me out.
Well, I would say this, right? To a point that Brandon made about people, women, men, not taking the proper amount of time to evaluate their situations, to evaluate like past relationships, current relationships, etc., and then finding themselves in a cycle of finding themselves in patternistic behavior. This essentially is saying that for us women, this is how I'm interpreting it. Sorry. For us women who have taken the time out to really understand our own individual lives, and we are now taking accountability for what happened in our past, we are sorry. That's how I'm interpreting it. So, because I can see how somebody can repost this just for a pick me, but for somebody to type this out can probably come from a place of, I see a lot of men bashing women. I see a lot of women bashing men. But for me and my journey, I understand that it's all about accountability. It's all about the choices, like you got both of y'all said. It's all about the choices that I've made in my life. It's all about the people I decided to come into my life to deal with me on a deeper level, on an intimate level, however the case may be. This is me taking ownership of my accountability. And I feel like there is no problem with that. I feel like the problem comes when somebody like would repost it or say preach, and they're not really taking the proper, and you can tell, or they're not really taking the proper steps to better themselves, getting themselves out of their own situations. So
yeah, well,
I can't wait for you to go to that courtroom. If this was not a pick me statement to you,
nah. So I can understand what he's saying, and to an extent, I can understand what he's saying. Where he's saying someone who can acknowledge, like me personally, I can go back and acknowledge that the relationships that didn't work out for me, where I had women, I had a girlfriend who would not talk to me for like weeks at a time because she was going through something. She thought that was okay, and I allowed it to happen. And then we didn't work out, and I'm thinking, and she's acting like, it wasn't as big a deal as it was. I could have sat there and been like, oh, women ain't. But I'm like, no, I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I let that happen. I allowed that to happen, right? I sat there, and when she texted me back, I replied like a dummy, like as soon as she texted, because I'm stupid. I was dumb. That was my fault. So for the post to be perceived as the original person typing it as possibly saying like, you know what, like, yeah, all men ain't shit. It's really like I messed up in my life and I chose wrong. That could be the case. And he is correct when he says people who repost, they reading it like facts. Yeah, and they don't want to admit like, yeah, like I fucked up. I messed up. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you thought you was doing right, but then the next chance you got, you made the same mistake, right? Then you messed up. Like a lot of people don't acknowledge, and not saying every time you make a mistake it's your fault, but you can't continue to make the same mistake without trying to change. If there's no attempt for change, it's your fault. So I understand what he's saying,
I see
but
it in that sense. But if that's
pick
what she
me.
meant, she worded it weird because she
Yeah.
said we reject. Like she kept saying we when she
Yes.
could have just personalized it
I.
if that's what she meant.
So and
That's true.
that's why I also agree with you when you thinking it's a pick me. I'm not saying what he's saying is correct, but I can see how he thinks of it that way as the original writer saying, hey, I speak for women when I say we're sorry, you know. But
I
yeah,
wanted to say accountability and all that, but sometimes people are just for real good at finessing others.
yeah,
And they
That
just
is
lie.
true.
Like sometimes you can have all the
That is
accountability
true.
in the world, but you just I'm not gonna blame you for being in love with somebody and trusting the person that you're with, and then
Mm.
he or she or whatever is cheating on you.
But realistically, though, when the games stop, when you're tired, and I'm not talking about saying it, when you're really tired and you're like, yo, I can't live like this no more, you're going to self-reflect. And in self-reflection, you found out a whole bunch of things. So the accountability, that comes through self-reflection. You're not going to be accountable if you're out here doing what you're doing and you think that this is like, this is working. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna be accountable. You're not gonna be self-reflective because it's something that's working. And I understand that. But truly, there's something deeper to be acknowledged when you're able to acknowledge, especially because that type of behavior is not always put at the forefront. That behavior is not always praised, and that behavior sometimes is not even warranted because time has passed and it's kind of like too little too late in certain instances. But yeah.
Sometimes that accountability could also mess up your next relationship just because you felt like you keep comparing it to what you had before. Like, oh, I never asked him what he was doing before, so I gotta ask this new guy what he's always doing. And now you're at the point where it's smothering or meddling because you felt like I
that's
wasn't accountable the last time, so now
that's
I
not
gotta be
accountability.
extra.
then
That's
you
not
haven't learned the
accountability.
But
lesson yet. You haven't learned the lesson
What
yet.
you said is not
that's how
accountability.
some
That's
people might
insecurity.
rationalize it.
That's
I
facts.
get it, but that's
That's a fact.
insecurity, not accountability.
That's a fact.
Accountability would be like, well, what was the scenario you said? I didn't ask this person where he was at, and he
Like
what?
the same thing you were saying, like when you didn't text your girlfriend or whatever, when you had that period of not talking, some people would just like, some people are just good at like, I just need some space right now or whatever, and then they bounce back fine, or like they just compare the old to the new. But it depends on what they think is accountable. Like you felt like you should have texted first and you should have
No,
forced a conversation.
I was doing that,
Oh, okay.
but she wouldn't respond, and then she would just respond whenever she felt like it.
Okay,
And
okay.
so me, what the accountability on my part was understanding that that wasn't a female issue. That was a me issue. That was I didn't command the respect that I deserved. It wasn't about, oh, you better reply to me. It was about, hey, like I've been trying to get your attention for the last I don't know how long. Um, this this is not okay, and I'm not dealing with this. So if we done, we done. Let me know. And that's not what happened. It was are you, you know, I'm here when you're blah blah blah. And she would text back like, oh, I didn't assert, like I didn't set boundaries of what I was willing to take. So in the next relationship, if it was to happen, you say like, hey, like it's been a couple of days since you text me. Is everything okay? And then no reply. It's like, look, like I can't do this again. I already went through this. Like you let me know what's going. Like you just make sure that you understand it's you. You don't make the same mistakes. You just put the boundaries there in place. You just make sure you learn it from it. You're not placing any past traumas on your partner, but at the same time, you're learning and saying, hey, this seems familiar. This is a pattern that I experienced before. Let me get ahead of it. Just to see what it is. Ask a question. If it goes on, then I know I can't do this, and you bounce. That's accountability. You're not putting no trauma on this person. Hey, this person is not texting me. They're always out late. My last partner cheated on me. Let me get ahead of this. Like, let me just set my boundaries. If I'm being disrespected, we can't work out no more. It's not like, hey, where you at? What you doing? Who's this? Who's that? That's insecurity, not accountability. So it's just placing Understanding that the last person hurt you does not mean the next person will, but you still have to make sure you set your defenses and boundaries in place on the off chance that the person does attempt to hurt you. You already have those boundaries in place. So that's accountability. Not blaming every woman for the mistakes of the last. Not blaming every man for the mistakes of the last. Also a choice that you made. That's, so.
And it takes a lifetime for some people to get to
It
that point.
does. Some people
If
never
they
will.
ever get to it, yeah.
If they
So,
ever get, yeah.
But yeah.
I thought we was gonna start with this one, so we didn't have to end on
I thought
a
that
heavy
bounce
note.
back. No, we didn't end on a heavy. If we would have ended on the protect black women,
politics.
that would have been heavy. I feel like I probably am not articulating myself correctly, and that's the disconnect. But I don't see it the same. But that's another topic for another day, and that's just how I feel. So
I mean, I feel like when it comes to that whole segment, it's really in my mind, it's a forest from the trees kind of like
What?
I'm sorry, that's a saying. Meaning
Okay.
so like this, the immediate situation that's going on is the attack on black people generally. So the conversations, the talking points, the mentality, the perspective is going to be, oh, you don't protect black lives, you don't protect black women, because of the time that we're in.
I
But
get it.
holistically, it's like, it's societally, like there are like undeniable truths, right? There's the things that we're going through, that we're living through, and then there's the undeniable truths
I
of
understand
just
that.
the whole.
I understand.
That's how I
I understand that, and I'm not negating or discrediting that. I'm not negating that black women have it worse because they are black and they are women. It's double. I'm not negating that or discrediting that. That's not what I was saying. I am saying a lot of that, the messaging can get lost amongst your women. Should all be together. Like that's what I was saying. Like you guys, if anybody else, should all be trying, because that's what you guys act like y'all just so close knit, and y'all, if y'all honest with yourself, y'all not. That's what I'm saying. It gets lost. Just like everything else, the Black Lives Matter thing gets lost with us and everybody else. I don't think that women should feel like they're being overshadowed by other women. That's what I was saying. I'm not even that is not clearing it up, and I have to find a better way to articulate myself. But I feel like it's not the same because you guys are all women. It's not. Only women that look at you guys differently. There's two different. There's two different types of Hispanics, and there's one type of white person. Well, there's two different types of white people. So
There's a bunch of Hispanics.
No, I'm saying there's two different types. There's the whitewashed ones.
Oh, okay, and Afro Latinx.
Yes, and even the ones that aren't Afro and Latinx, there's the ones that they understand, and they don't mess with the white people like that. And then there's the white people that are down for the cause, and there's the real racist ones. All I'm saying is those are the only two that y'all against. Everybody else should be on the same team, and I think every minority, I don't care what it is, in this time should be putting their issues aside because we're all on the same team. That's what I think. It's not just black people that, unfortunately, we are in the limelight. It's not just us. We're all, if we all put our issues aside, who do you think would dominate the country? But we don't do that. We're all divided. It's not our fault, but we feed into it. That's all I'm saying. When you say that, to me, it triggers something. It's like, no, you're dividing. It's more
I
division.
could tell it triggered something.
It triggered, and it's not because, oh, I hate black women. No, fuck black. It's not what I'm saying. Yes, protect black women, but I think that's more delicate than saying Black Lives Matter. I do personally, because you guys understand the traumas that women go through. So so that's what I'm saying.
I didn't think you meant it like fuck black women at all.
Yeah.
No, I'm reinforcing. I didn't think you meant that. You obviously have a black mom, and I'm sure you would not say that to her. But I might. Try it. Let me know how it goes. In society's totem pole, often white men, white women, black women, other identities in between. For me to give my little bit of my one singular person, love, support, positivity, and blessings to the bottom of the barrel in the totem pole, I don't think it's a bad thing, and I didn't think I would get a strong reaction for saying it. Also, you should probably listen to more women, period, on this issue. Because I feel like I get how that's how you feel, but me as a Black woman, I don't
You're
really
not the only
care.
person I listen to.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I
But
judge based on multiple women.
this is one perspective.
I
I don't
know.
know how many conversations. If you've had them
Yeah,
before,
so
I'm
that's why
sure
I'm
you
saying.
have. You're a talker.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying I don't understand the statement.
I don't really, I don't know how to say it in a nice way, but it doesn't really matter to me how you feel about it because
It
I'm a
doesn't have
Black
to.
woman. Like, you
Okay.
can't tell me
But you're a
about
woman
it.
at the end of the day, Black or
You're a
not, you are a
man.
woman.
You're a human.
Exactly. So what I'm
So
saying
all
is,
lives matter. That's how I'm interpreting it.
all right, bro.
That's how I'm interpreting it. I'm being honest.
Okay, so then we're done.
Look,
No,
we
well,
can say.
listen. There's no trying to.
Okay.
That's how she
It-
feels. That's how she feels.
I was
Whatever.
going.
There's nothing to say. I don't even want to talk about it. I really
So
don't.
the presidential debate.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't. I think we got a common ground here.
Well, this is very kind of like funny times because we have the NBA finals coming up. And,
bro, I think we're done. I think
months.
that's what it is. I think we're done. It's been.
I just want to end on a
Yeah.
He was just trying to end on positive.
I got it.
Crack a joke.
We'll end it on the That's how you feel. Like whatever. We're done. I'm drained. You know.
Same.
Oh wow, I feel like.
All right, so I guess moral of the story is it's okay for men to get their eyebrows done.
Yeah, facts. It is.
Oh yeah,
I support it.
Especially if you bushy up top. Most definitely.
Hey yo.
Yeah.
I said bushy up top. Like
hey yo.
I mean, pause if it's a warranted pause. Like pause. You know, my fault. That's how I feel. All right, so are we clipping this? Are we done? Anything else?
No, we're done.
Yeah, that was a good end.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, my fault.